This is the fullest can of beer I've ever had in my life.
They somehow put more liquid than is able to be held in the can.
It's like to the top, to the tippy top. It's crazy.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect. Yeah, so just prepare to...
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
I got my sweet jar with them.
That train is off the track.
I feel like you can't just like jump through Neptune and be okay.
Just prepare to...
What the show needs is more dogs and bears and chickens and stuff.
Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in unbeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You are listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly-ish Pacers podcast. Today is May 1st, 2022, and this is episode 590. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana, I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials and former season ticket holder. This show, we're going to recap round one of the playoffs, get prepped and make predictions for round two, and we are going to have our long-awaited 2021-2022 NBA Undebeatawards. Joining me this show are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jamison Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? 3 quick shout-outs for you this week. First, happy International Workers' Day. Hope you are celebrating appropriately. Second, shout-out to my family who was in town last week, which is why I missed the pod. It's good to have Mom and Dad here, although Erin came down with COVID the day before she was supposed to come.
Oh, no.
Yeah. She's doing much better now, though. So
Good.
That was a bummer. We missed her, which means we get a bonus visit, I think, later. And then finally, shout out to my band, Educators and Son, who played at the Petworth Porch Fest yesterday, and it was a rockin' good time, I think. We reached, I think, the culmination of our band. We played November Rain, which was the initial vision that we had when Alex joined as a cellist. We were like, we can play November Rain now. We finally did it.
Congrats.
Thanks.
That is awesome.
Love it when a plan comes together.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Colson, where are you at today?
I'm in Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay. So I couldn't tell if you were in Asheville or in the void. So you're in Asheville. From Asheville, North Carolina. He's our in-house bartender mixing up the drinks and the crappy jingles. It's John Skinny Colson.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? I'm here and awake.
The Crusher.
The Crusher. So, Colson, do you know where your nickname comes from this week? Who Skinny is?
I assume it's Jonathan Bender.
It is not Jonathan Bender.
Oh, but everyone has to take a shot because I said Jonathan Bender.
Jason or Harper, do you know whose nickname is Skinny?
That was a solid guess.
I mean, I'll give you a hint. He's an actively rostered player. You know what? That may not be true. He was on the team
At the
very
end
recently.
of the season? Okay.
I think he actually got dropped.
No idea.
Yeah.
It's Edmund Sumner.
Oh.
They did
Savior,
cut him,
baby.
didn't they, after
No, he got traded.
he got
preseason.
traded.
Yep.
Okay.
For a second-round draft pick or something.
Oh yeah. So, but he's skinny. That's who
He is skinny. That is true.
Is he skinnier than Isaiah Jackson?
I don't think so.
No.
Or Jonathan Bender.
Or Bender, yeah.
Right.
Whatever.
Take another shot.
From Boise, Idaho, out west, it's our enforcer, John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? Shutting out New Orleans this week. Looks like Zion is saying that he's going to sign his gigantic extension that he will be offered, even though he doesn't really play basketball. But I suppose that's technically good news for them. So go Pelicans.
Congrats, New Orleans.
All right. Maybe Kyrie's been giving him some like coaching, mentoring, talking about how they can fix their respective teams.
Exactly. Yeah, whenever anybody puts a contract with several commas in it, I always just sign that thing.
Don't even read the fine print.
Just to be safe. Let's just sign that.
Mm-hmm. Before we start the show, I'd like to remind listeners they can support us, the longest-running Pacers podcast, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables. It helps support us for keep the lights on, as it were. Get access to our Slack where we're clowning on stuff in the playoffs. So having a good time there. The first thing we want to talk about this show is the playoffs. Round 1 is concluded, and we're going to talk about how things ended and in round 2 coming up, which has actually started as of today. We're recording Sunday evening, but to break down the round 1, we'll start off in the Western Conference. Phoenix does take down New Orleans 4-2, a lot closer than it maybe should have been, but New Orleans did a good job, and Phoenix turned it around pretty quickly. I will mention, even though I don't want to, that Chris Paul had a fantastic Game 6. I think he went 13 or 14 or 14, I think, from the floor. Yeah.
Perfect from the floor.
No misses. So, shout out to Phoenix. Look, it's but I mean, New Orleans fought hard. Zion played well enough in that series to get that contract extension. So.
Yes, he did.
Any other notes from that series, Harper, that you think are interesting?
Yeah, who needs Devin Booker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did. It's great that New Orleans was able to be fairly competitive, but we were never going to see a 1-8 upset in that one. So,
moving on to the second matchup in that quarter of the bracket, the Dallas Mavericks took down the Utah Jazz 4-2 as well. That one, the Utah just kind of the gas stopped going. Colson, I know you were surprisingly anti-Jazz.
I mean, I like jazz as a form of music, and I've been I don't know, supporting this team probably because of Mike Conley and Bogey on the team, but this was not impressive, and I do think this is probably the last time you're going to see this team in its current form.
Blow it up.
Blow it up.
Yeah.
I made an argument. I think that the Mavericks were, a roster full of dudes you've never heard of. That's not exact. I might have overstated that, but at the same time, this was a beatable team, I think, and Utah did not show up to play basketball. So.
No, and that's in both of those series. All of us failed to pick the correct winner in number of games. So 0-for-2 team.
Ooh, yay.
Moving down the list here, we got Golden State, the number 3 seeded Golden State Warriors versus the Denver Nuggets. Golden State wins this one 4-1. I'm sorry, it's been a while since we've done playoff basketball. That's the, let's see, which type of, is that the gentleman's sweep, right?
That was a gentleman's sweep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Nuggets out, and I don't know, Jason. I guess in this one, the Nuggets. Do you think that they need a serious retooling, or wait for injuries to subside?
Yeah, exactly.
Where are you at on this team?
They just need a healthy, roster, basically. Michael Porter Jr.'s missing, and then my brain is farting on the other guy's name, who's
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray, yeah.
Jamal Murray,
who's coming back from an ACL injury, and I mean, I thought that they competed with Golden State, which is a testament to how freaking good Nikola Jokic is. Because you look at the rest of that roster, and you're like, what? I don't understand this at all.
So much Will Barton.
Yeah, way too much Will Barton. So much Aaron Gordon involved in things.
I always forget that dude's alive.
Yeah, and I mean, Golden State is starting to fire on all cylinders. Quick, we were talking about this pregame. The potential stat of the week goes to Steve Kerr, who is now 19-2 in playoff series as a coach. He has never lost a playoff series outside of the NBA Finals as a coach. So, yeah. That's what Denver was going up against.
Yeah, that guy.
A little bit of
Missing
history.
2 of their 3 best players. So,
Yeah.
no. They'll just get healthy next year, and, they'll be back to being freaking really, really good. So.
And nice work, Joey. You did nail that one. Golden State in 5.
Nice. Did anybody pick Denver in that one?
I did. I picked Denver in 7.
Okay.
Assuming that there were going to be injuries because it's Golden State. But the longer they stay healthy, man, the more likely it is we're going to see rings
longer
on some
they
fingers.
win.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the longer the game goes, the more likely it is that Draymond Green's going to get tossed. So
He's going to punch somebody in the
Gotta
nuts.
balance that
It's almost inevitable.
Right. Last matchup in the West, Memphis taking on Minnesota. Memphis wins this one 4-2. That was a pretty entertaining series. Colson, where did you think this one landed on how do these teams look coming out of this one?
I'm just so happy for Minnesota, who's just been so bad for so long. It looks like Anthony Edwards is the real deal. I thought if it starts to look like if this team evolves and the Big Cat can be the second best player on your team, you could be pretty devastating. So I'm happy for them. I really thought this one was going 7, but it didn't. And Memphis is really, I think, ready to make that next step. And they're well coached. They're disciplined. They came back from double-digit deficits.
Sure you're awake?
Double-digit deficits in 3 of the games. I believe a couple of them were 20 or more to win this series. They're a good team, and I'm excited to see them in the next series. So, shout out.
Yeah, shout out. Very fun series. I think I tried to pick the Grizzlies in 5, but my memory is that Jason pushed me off the spot, so I ended up taking Grizz in 6.
Damn it.
Moving on to the East, the Miami Heat taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Miami wins this one 4-1. I forgot Atlanta won a game, but you know what? It's Trey Young at the buzzer. I remember that one now. But that was handily taken down by the Heat. Harper, any notes from this one?
I mean, obviously the Heat are playing well, but if you're a Hawks fan, that was a tough one. That is not good news. They need to. They're going to have to make some changes in the organization, likely to get competitive. Probably that starts with the coach, but they can't be very happy with how they fared in that series, even going up against a good Miami team. And congrats, Mr. Colson. Heat in 5, buddy.
Woo!
Nice.
No faith in Coach Nick McMillan.
Nope. Joey had even less. He had the sweep on him. So.
I mean, come on, give the man a little bit of credit. I mean, he's at least
Trey
playing
Young some
checkers, you know?
Right. The 4-5 matchup, Philadelphia taking on Toronto. Philly wins this one 4-2. The news coming out of the Game 6 was Joel Embiid suffered a fractured right orbital. It was the right orbital that
That's
the
my
news as
favorite
of
orbital.
It's your favorite orbital. Everyone knows that.
I talk about that all the time.
The news as of today is that he's going to miss games 1 and 2 of the next series, and for sure he's in the concussion protocol. And then hopefully he'll be back by game 3. But likely wearing a mask, and hopefully he'll be back by then. But Jason, any takeaways from this series for Toronto, or I guess for Philly? Either way.
Yeah, I'll give you one for each. For Toronto, shout out to Toronto, who this season, I and many other people thought were not going to have a good season, and they again proved themselves to be a scrappy bunch of hardworking, defensive, switchable, competitors, and made this series interesting after they were down 3-0. And, have Rookie of the Year in Scotty Barnes, not to spoil anything for our second half of this episode. But, so I was really impressed by them. And then for Philly, shout-out to Doc Rivers. What the heck are you doing? Your team is up 29 points with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Joel Embiid, already hampered with the torn thumb ligament, is still in the game for some stupid reason, and he gets fractured in the head. And this is why people take their stars out of the game in these situations, right? Because you cannot risk this. Especially a guy like Embiid, who is like a walking injury risk, and also suffers from like major fatigue all the time. Like, why is he in the game? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
and now they put
seems like a lot.
Yeah, it with 4 minutes left, and it seems to me
not like in the third quarter,
right? Exactly.
Yeah,
and it seems to me like their championship hopes are now completely in jeopardy because Miami doesn't fuck around, right? And their one weakness is they have no big guys, and Joel Embiid, it turns out, is an MVP caliber big guy who could just dominate this Miami team, and now he won't be able to do it for 2 games. So you're just pissing away 2 games. It's
I'm sure they'll be up 2-0 when he comes back after Harden leads his team gallantly to back-to-back victories. I have no doubt about that.
Also, was it? I think it was 96. Ended up being one of the lost playoff years for the Pacers in the midst of their really deep runs because Reggie got an orbital bone fracture in the first round and lost against the Hawks in the first round. So this isn't something you just come back from. This is my favorite orbital bone around your eye, all smashed up. He's definitely when he comes back, we'll have a mask on, and that's, even if that's only after 2 games, which would be, I think, very optimistic.
Moving on to the 3-6 matchup. Milwaukee takes care of business, taking down Chicago 4-1. Congrats to Milwaukee moving on. They're taking on the winner, whomever wins. I don't want to do any spoilers here. The Boston-Brooklyn series. Colson, what do you think the Bulls show to us? Don't get COVID? That was part of it, right?
No, I think at the beginning of every season, Joey, you ask why they still have a team. Why haven't they just packed up and left town? This reminded me of that. This was just this was shameful. They couldn't put the ball in the basket. They couldn't do any. They couldn't play defense. I thought they were going to at least put up a little bit of something, but they didn't. So go ahead and pack up and head to Seattle or Vegas or wherever you're going to go.
Seattle. Oh, I see. The team is going to move. I thought you meant like for their postseason. Like fishing trip. Seattle in the off-season.
Oh no! I hear it's rainy this time of year.
I'm sure it's a lovely town.
Seattle's. I mean, I've been there some, and it's great. But you just don't see the NBA players posting pictures from Seattle.
That's right.
There's no banana boats there,
DeMar DeRozan catching a fish at the
fish market.
The last matchup, 2-7, Boston Celtic versus the Brooklyn Nets. Boston swept the Nets. Harper, did any of us call that?
Oh, absolutely not.
Dang. So that's Boston was the bigger team here, and look, Kyrie's got this handled. Next season is going to be great. But Harper, what did you take away for both teams on this one?
Boston, you're exactly right. They just took care of business. They want to win a championship, and handling the Nets in that way was just really impressive. We were split 2-2 on who was even going to win this series, and they bettered them on both ends of the court in pretty much every one of these games. And we're not letting the Nets do anything that they wanted to do. Just a really impressive victory for them. If you are the Nets, obviously Kyrie thinks that a bunch of changes need to be made. I'm sure that he doesn't think that he should be one of those names. But, if the problem is the team not gelling, it seems like maybe Kyrie probably had a hand in not allowing that to happen by missing half of the season. So it doesn't seem like he is very cognizant of his culpability there. But, back to the drawing board for the Nets. Maybe next year with Ben Simmons, that's something. But
yeah, I did. I think we tweeted out the Onion's article about Ben Simmons finally being ready to play for the Nets. He's ready to go, team. He's got this.
Put me in, coach.
So that was round one. The higher seeded team won every single series, so I guess no surprises. There were some certainly that we were split on, but congratulations to the higher seeded teams. I mean, it's also that the play-ins make no difference at all.
Sure. Yeah. Hope does not spring eternal.
Yeah, it was just there to rob us of a draft pick.
That's right.
Rob us of the draft pick and get more games to throw into the void that is the play-ins, and there's some gate money, some TV money, which I'm sure gets shared amongst everybody, right? Probably just back into the local community, I'm guessing.
Yeah, obviously.
Anyway, I don't audit their numbers.
Oh yeah, no. It's all drug rehab programs and after school for the kids. It's all
Sure.
wonderful things.
Perfect. Seems like we're all winners here. So round two, starting. We need to do we'll do some quick previews and our predictions. Harper, hopefully you're ready to. I know you're the keeper of these. Also, we've never checked. You could have told me I said anything, and I have no idea.
That's right. No one's gone back to the tape. It's fine.
Yeah. But so let's start in the West. The number one seeded Phoenix Suns versus the 4 seeded Dallas Mavericks. They have not played as of recording time. It is 0-0. Jason, where do you think this is going to go?
Well, so I think this is an interesting series. I think Phoenix, I think is booned by the scare that they got in the first round from the Pelicans. Like there's no fear that I didn't have any fear that they were going to take their eye off the ball anyway, but now they definitely will not. Dallas is a scrappy team, and obviously is Luka Doncic is the focal point there. The great thing about Phoenix, well, I guess if you're a Phoenix fan, is they have a bunch of guys to throw at Luka. Mikal Bridges is all NBA caliber. Jameson Crowder. They've got length they could throw at him. They have Chris Paul to bug him if they want that. And Dallas is really struggling, I think, or going to struggle in this series defensively against DeAndre Ayton. They have very little size to deal with him and very little rim protection, and just the way that the Suns have been operating at historically high levels. This team won 65 games or something like that, which is like very high historically in the NBA. I think they're going to make quick work of the Dallas Mavericks. I think they win this in 5.
All right, Colson.
That was my number. I will maybe switch it up. The reason I was watching that the Dallas Jazz series, and it was a elimination game for the Jazz in Game 6, and no one was guarding the 3-point line for like the entire second half, and I think that was true for the whole series. I don't think that's going to be true against the Suns. The Suns are one of the best defensive teams in the league, and so I don't think that the Mavs can do what they did as efficiently against the Phoenix as they did. I also agree with you that DeAndre Ayton's going to be a problem. He's big. I guess I'll go Phoenix in 6, but I don't like it. Let's go 5. I'm gonna jump on top of Jason. I think 5 is the way to go.
All right, Colson on top of Jason is what I heard.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds like an Undebeatacon.
Harper, where you landed on this? Are you just going to hop on the pile?
What happens at Undebeatacon stays in Undebeatacon.
Except the parts we record.
Right.
I also had Phoenix in 5. I will hope for a nice long series, and I'll take them in 6 instead.
All right. Well, I guess I don't think there's I don't see. I just don't have a path to Dallas winning this one this year. So I'll take them in 7, but I'll take Phoenix in 7.
I mean, the
don't think
path
this
is
is
just
the year
a nuclear hot Doncic.
Yeah, he's going to have to.
Which is
put up-
totally
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
But
Sure. No, that's
50 a
fair.
game for 4 games out of 7 is hard to accomplish, though.
right.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, and everybody around him hitting, all the threes that are open. So yeah, it's possible. Not likely.
Improbable.
Not probable.
All right, moving on to the second conference semifinal: Golden State Warriors versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Golden State, as of recording, the game 1 was today. Golden State won that one. So, and that was in Memphis, as Memphis is the higher seed. Harper, where are you on this one?
That was a super fun game today. Really back and forth. But the Warriors go into enemy territory and immediately take home court advantage away. It's a tough break for Memphis. Again, I'm just hopeful that this will be a good series. I feel like maybe I'm being a little too bullish on the Grizz here, but I got Golden State in 6.
All right. Jason.
I like the Grizzlies. I think they scrap. I think that's a team that just is not going to give up ever in an individual game or in the series. And I also am going to root for a long series because none of the series in round 1 went to 7. So let's have this one go to 7. I'll take Golden State in 7.
Oh, I like that pick. I just really like Memphis, and I like this team, and I want to pull for them. But I think they're a year or 2 away. I think this is one of those situations where, basically Golden State's going to win these things down the stretch because they've been in these situations before, and I think this thing gets done in 5.
Dang. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take the Grizz in 7.
Nice.
Nice.
They got home court
They
advantage.
had
so-
home court
I mean,
advantage.
they had. They used to.
If it gets to a game 7, they have home
They'll get
court
it back.
advantage.
I'm not worried about it.
There you go.
Yeah. And they, yeah, you're right. And also, this game was very competitive.
Super fun. Yeah.
So Ja got a look at the basket to win the game, and the shot didn't fall.
Yeah.
So
I would watch that 7 games though, for sure.
Yeah.
This was great.
Happily. But
Yeah.
if Memphis wants to win this thing, they don't want to be giving up, 120 points a game. They're gonna have to find a way to play a little more defense on this team. They're not going to be able to outscore the Warriors. That's not going to be a recipe for success for them.
All right, moving to the East, Miami versus Philly, 1v4 matchup. Colson, who do you like in this one?
I mean, I was going to like Miami anyway, but without Embiid, this thing's a wrap. It's a sweep.
Sweet.
Yeah, Miami in 4.
Trust the process, yeah? JT, what do you think?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, I think Philly is just a tragic situation, and James Harden is gonna be caught up in South Beach. Like that's just not a good mix for those two
Good
guys.
call. Good call. It's like the worst case scenario.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give a Miami the gentleman's sweep. I think they take it in 5.
Nice.
Yeah, I was also rocking the gentleman's sweep. Maybe Embiid comes back and makes an impression, and they can push this thing to 6.
Okay.
I'll take Miami in 7 just so I'm not jumping on anybody, but there is no way that Philly's got this.
There's no way.
No way.
0% chance.
0% chance that New Orleans
I ran
can win a
I ran
championship.
10,000 simulations in my head. At the end of each one, I was like, no way. No way.
I love it.
So, all right, last matchup: the number 3 Milwaukee Bucks versus the number 2 Boston Celtics. Game 1 has already been played. Milwaukee won that one handily against Boston.
Spoiler alert:
Harper.
some people were taking naps, man.
Yeah, well, if this was like a different type of podcast, then I would maybe give it a spoiler word. But it is a NBA basketball podcast, my friend.
Yeah, that was not very competitive. I'm certainly still hopeful for a good series here, and I'll take Milwaukee in 7. But Antetokounmpo just put it on him today. I think he was questionable to start this game, and then triple dubs. Didn't shoot the ball well, but like 25, 14, and 13 or something. Just really, really, really dominant, and they as good a defenders on they have as the perimeter. Not like anybody has the guy, the Giannis stopper, but definitely Boston doesn't. So they better find a way to torment him. Man, putting up 89 points on your home floor.
Yeah.
JT, what do you think?
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I mean, this is going to be like a rock fight defensive battle from the 80s or something, I think. Boston, I think it was probably, got whiplashed by the level of defense. I mean, the Nets gave 0 resistance in that first series, and so it had to just seem like running through quicksand for Boston to actually have to, like, play a defense that cares and defends the rim. Milwaukee is missing Middleton. I don't know how long, right? Do any of you guys know how long he's out?
I don't think they've given us a number on that.
Okay. That's a concern for me. But I think that Jason Tatum has taken a leap and is going to take this challenge against Antetokounmpo as, his next, notch on his bedpost or whatever. I don't know if that's the right analogy, but
It'll do.
I'm going to take Boston in 7 before I throw in other bad analogies.
Nice.
Mixed metaphors and whatnot.
Middleton, that grade 2 MCL sprain, most recent reports are that he may be out for the conference finals as well, so unlikely he will be seen in this series.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Boston in 7 for me.
Okay. That's where I was gonna go, but I think Boston's gonna adjust. I think you Jason, you were right on there. It was such a difference between the previous game to the previous series to this one. Milwaukee is they are the defending champs. Antetokounmpo did give himself a little, alley-oop off the backboard, which was pretty dope. You can't do much about that because he's a freak of nature. But
he's a giant human with hops.
This one's tough. I guess, you know what? I'm going to go with the champs until not. Is anyone taking them in 7 yet?
I took them in 7.
Harper did.
Yep.
You took Milwaukee in 7?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll take them in 6.
Okay, I like that, Joe. The thing is, you don't underestimate the heart of a champion, right? And MVP Antetokounmpo is just a beast. I do think that Boston is the best two-way team in the league. I picked them to win the championship this year, or to go to the finals. Did we pick the winner? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I know I picked them to go to the finals, so I'm going to stick with my guys. This was not a good start of this series, but I'm going to pick the Celtics make adjustments, and they get this done in 6 in Milwaukee.
This should be a fun one. I'm looking forward to. In spite of today being a little deflating, this should really be a lively series.
Yeah, I would think so. Any final words before we move on to the second half here?
Good luck,
No,
Chicago.
it's been an enjoyable playoffs so far.
Yeah, go playoffs.
Yeah.
Would you say,
Say
Harper?
good luck, Chicago.
Moving sucks. Just boxing everything up, I don't know.
Shout out, Chairman.
Gotta change your address with the, post office and stuff. It's just a big pain.
Can you imagine with the real estate market right now?
Yeah.
You gotta buy a building. To play basketball in.
Luckily you're gonna probably make some money selling in Chicago right now, but yeah, you probably should wait a couple years before you buy. So, maybe my recommendation would just be to just stay out of the league for a few years until the market gets better. Yeah, until the market gets better.
Yeah, you know what though? You can shut the franchise down, but the Blackhawks still do play out of the United Center. So,
yeah, but they're an actual team.
Yeah, that's true. They're a respectable organization. All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll come back in the second half with our Undebeatables awards. We'll be back in just a few. Back from the break. We will be doing our Undebeatables awards here very shortly, but first, we got a stat of the week.
Joey, stat of the week.
And I know most of the people out there are thinking that they know what the stat of the week is, and we've done a couple discussions about the postal service and their new trucks that are coming on, and I feel like I should let this go. But so this week, not about that. It's not about that they're being sued by a bunch of states and environmental groups over these just woefully inefficient 8.6 mile per gallon trucks. That's not what we're talking about.
Super nice of you not to mention.
Yep, not even once.
I thought they were gonna. I thought Ducks would be suing them for plagiarism.
Image infringement.
Image infringement.
That may be coming down the line, but I don't have a good insight into the court system. But that's not what this is about. This one is about Broad Ripple High School.
Yeah.
I didn't go there, as you guys all know. Went to another school, which is healthy and full, is still in existence, and asks you for money constantly. But I saw Broad Ripple High School hit the news this week because George Hill wants Broad Ripple High School to return. He's got plans to bring it back. And there is no concrete plan for this yet, but he's expressed interest, and he's starting to get get some ideas out there, getting the word out. He wants to do a charter school there, but he said he wants Broad Ripple High School back. So, nothing concrete yet, but the building is. I think so. It stopped being a high school in 2018, and I believe they're using it for like a little just administrative stuff, and it's not nothing, but
it's not something either
right now.
Yeah,
it's not. That's definitely not something. Like when I drive by all the time. I don't ever look at it and be like, "That's something." I've never said that.
But easy enough to take back is what you're saying.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the George Hill wants to get in on that process. IPS has responded, saying that they're aware, and there's no plans for the building yet, but there is a process that needs to be gone through if they want to start up school there. But I think that's super cool that he is still invested in the high school he went to, and the high school, and the education system in Indianapolis. I think that's
hometown hero.
That's great.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
Now, if you can just get Letterman and Wayne Gretzky on board,
there you go.
That's right. Hey, money talks.
Yeah, that's right.
More than education. So I was really hoping they were going to do it, turn it into like apartments, so I could like live in my old high school.
That's what winners do, right? Just like relive that dream. Roosevelt
when I was
Colvin.
all cool in choir.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to the remnants of Broad Ripple High School and George Hill. Hopefully he can resurrect something from that. It'd be nice to have something there. It'd be cool to have a school. Just because school is cool. Right, Colson?
That's right. So I'm heading back.
So, it is time for the 2021-2022 NBA Undebeatawards.
We do have one of our awards to hand out, I think. As I've called them, the Undebeatawards. We'll just make everybody else a winner.
We've got all the important categories for you. I think let's just jump right in.
Just a reminder to the listeners. The Pacers specific Undebeat Awards is a free for all. This we try to come to some consensus, Quaker style, to come up with the right answer.
Quaker style it is.
You stay in the room until somebody dies.
And as always, I object on principle. I'm looking for a religious exemption.
So, of course, these are our awards. We define each category however we feel like it. It has some resemblance to what happens across the NBA, the awards that are handed out by the NBA, but sometimes they're wrong, and we're there to tell it how it should be.
Sure.
So, first one, most improved player. We can say the NBA winner Ja Morant. Jason, did the NBA get that right?
No, they did not. John Morant's an MVP candidate. He cannot be considered for most improved. I understand that he made a big leap, but we were already aware that John Morant was very, 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 very good. For me, this award, I'm leaning towards Darius Garland on this one. I like giving it to guys that go from like pretty good to all-star level, that sort of arrive on the scene. And he fits that bill for me, this category. But I am curious to hear what everyone else thinks, because I feel like there were other very good candidates out there this year.
I really like that answer because I also struggled with the John Morant took a huge leap, but he's potentially a top 7 player in the NBA. Is that what this award is for? I really wanted to give it to DeMar DeRozan. I know that he's an old man and has been in the league forever, but I thought he had a career year this year with the Bulls. But I like Garland. I'm willing to put that on in my consideration as we go through Quaker style.
I'll make the case for Ja. I mean, my thing is that it wasn't necessarily a foregone conclusion that this guy was going to be an MVP candidate, right? It's not like when he was drafted, we were like, it's not like he was Zion Williamson, right? I didn't know how good he was going to be. Last season, he was 19-4-7. This season, he's 27-6-7. And, took his team to a 2 seed. The knock this season would have been he only played 57. And
his team was 20-2 when he was not on the floor.
And I think that would have hurt his MVP chances. But really a great year. The other guy who is every bit as deserving is Darius Garland. So I'm absolutely fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, I was more on the Ja was. I felt that Ja was on the path to superstardom, and this year did not surprise me. But for me, the definition of this is in that same vein. Like, it's not for that, that tier. It's for, those guys win all the awards. The best players win all the awards. This is
that's how meritocracies work.
But this is his third. This is Morant's third year in the league. He's taken steps every year. He seemed to be on this path. I like giving it to somebody we didn't expect to be as good, and I thought Garland made a worthy jump.
Well, and that's why I like Garland on this.
And similarly led his team to success, a surprising amount of success.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Those numbers from Ja year to year are surprising to me. I clearly did not do my homework, but that's an astounding jump.
Yeah, I mean, it is monster. And, just for comparison's sake, Garland last season was 17-2-6. This season, 22-3 and almost 9. Also in his third year in the league. I mean, he's not on anybody's MVP list, but certainly had a really excellent season.
All right, so Colson's going to make a T-shirt or
puffy
something
paint
and send it to Darius Garland. Right?
That's right.
In a package covered in glitter or something.
I might start making crowns for these instead of T-shirts. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know, some sort of headgear. I love headgear.
I feel like I didn't know this about you. Learn something new every day.
No good celebration goes without hats.
I just love referring to crowns as headgear.
Yeah.
Like you would meet the queen and be like, wow, there's an astounding
That's
piece
a
of headgear.
beautiful piece of headgear. My lady.
Old headgear Colson.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you what, if you've been out with him on his birthday, he's wearing a hat.
It's true. It's true. And I'll make other people wear hats on their birthdays.
All right. So Darius Garland it is, sweet. The next award, Most Valuable Player. This is a big one. I think this year there's you could make a strong case for several players. Not Darius Garland. I'm gonna get out in front of that one. Colson, I know he was high on your list, but
For sure.
I just think you're wrong. But who did you have for the most valuable player?
This was tough. I think probably the league is struggling with it as well. We don't know the answer to that, but I on my list was Devin Booker, being the best player on the best team matters to me. But I think how Chris Paul has changed the Suns team took a little bit of shine away from me in that. I think it came down to me to Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. Embiid's team had a better record, and I think probably this is the pinnacle of his career. I think this is the best he can play. He looked fantastic, and he played almost a full season. But I'm going to give it to Jokic in my mind. I just thought he was... I know his team didn't win as many games, but for much of the season, he was the only guy on that dang team. And I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He does everything for them except make you breakfast in the morning. So
You don't know that.
he's my pick. But I'm open to discussion.
Who you got this, for the MVP?
I agree with Colson on this one. Nikola Jokic had the best PER in the history of professional basketball, and
Seems good.
That is hard to do, eclipsing Wilt Chamberlain. So yeah, he had a
Michael
heck of a
Jordan
year.
and LeBron James.
It's very hard to
Jesus.
ignore, especially his performance since Christmas. I mean, the guy was just a beast. The other name that needs to be mentioned is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Sure. Because he's the best basketball player on the planet.
I mean, next to Durant, I would say. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to fight hard. I had Embiid written down. I think he gets a shout out for doing this in the midst of the circus that was the Philadelphia 76ers this year. Ben Simmons, his number 2 guy, basically didn't play all year.
Just number 2.
Not even basically. He did not play all year. And then they did a midseason trade for Harden, and Embiid didn't miss a beat. He was out there just dominating fools. But I agree. I mean, Jokic it's hard to argue against what Jokic did with that cast of characters around him this year. Like, what they won like 48 games or something like that, which is quite impressive. Maybe it wasn't that high, but mid to high 40s is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 48.
48. Okay. Joey, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean it's got to be Jokic. I didn't hear that about the setting the PER record, but that does neither surprise me nor obviously detract from this for him. I mean he's getting triple doubles anytime they need it, and it wasn't. I don't know. For me, that's. Some shine came off just from triple doubles since Mr. Westbrook showed that wasn't as cracked up as it was to be. We thought it was, but he's out there and just his team's winning games, and I mean if you can't, he's just so hard to shut down because he's so good at everything. He'll abuse you inside, and he's just so versatile. Just having the size and can he could dribble it up the floor if he needs to, and if you take away any part of his game, he'll pass it out to somebody else.
So if Jokic wins it this year, he would be the 13th player in NBA history to win back-to-back MVPs. Do you guys want to?
I love this
the
game.
list?
Sure. Jordan.
Check.
LeBron.
Check.
Chamberlain.
No.
Magic.
Kareem.
Bird, Magic, Kareem. Correct.
How many is that? 6?
I lost track. Sorry. The
That
list, it's like a weird web page.
Should be
I have to
6.
scroll through everything. Yes, you guys got Jordan, Magic, Kareem, Bird, and James, right?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Nash.
Yep, Nash.
Good pull.
Did you get Shaq? Did he do that?
No, he only got one.
Get it, Timmy?
Duncan.
Timmy.
Correct.
Nice. Timmy. Bill Russell.
Yep, Bill Russell.
Yep.
So we're at 9 now?
Yep. There's 2 recent guys and 1 old guy that you guys are missing.
Oh, Giannis.
Giannis, correct.
Oh,
Easy
Steph
to forget.
Curry.
Steph Curry, correct.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And
There's
then
one more. Let's see. This guy. Let's see if I can give you a hint that won't give it away.
is he a Celtic?
No.
Okay.
Does he play for a Texas team? Or did he?
He did, yes. But he was more well known as a Sixer, I think.
Moses Malone.
There you go. Moses,
Nice.
good job. Well done.
That's a good list. That's a list of good guys.
Yeah.
If you
It's a
could
list you would like to be on if you play
exactly.
basketballs.
Shout out Jokic. I don't know that he'll win it to the NBA, but we've definitely, I think, crowned him or given him some headgear.
As we do. Next category. It's the Coach of the Year. It's also the Popovich Award. I'm going to go ahead and start this one. I think Greg Popovich had
Set the all-time
I
record.
don't know, did it?
Right?
Yeah, did anyone else set the all-time record for most wins by an NBA coach? Not by my count.
No.
So I'm going to go with Pop.
To me, this comes down to 2 candidates. It comes down to Monty Williams and Phoenix, who led the team to the best record in the NBA, like head and shoulders above the rest of the NBA. Or Taylor Jenkins in Memphis, who took a team that we thought would be competitive for a playoff spot and led them to the second best record in the NBA, 55-ish wins or something like that, I forget. And as we mentioned before, missing his best player for a very large chunk of the season, and they went 20-2 in those games. So I went back and forth on this one. I'm leaning towards Jenkins, but I could easily be talked into Monty Williams. I mean, he's definitely very deserving.
Yeah, I was split on the same rail. I was leaning towards Monty on this. The other guy that the NBA had on their finals list was Spoelstra. But yeah,
Sure.
for me, I'm with you. It's between Jenkins and Monty, and you could flip a coin, and I'd be happy either way. Both of those guys were just tremendous. Memphis really found something.
Well, if it helps clarify, I had it down to 2 guys, and it was Monty and Willie Green, the coach of the Pelicans.
The 36-win New Orleans.
Yeah, but here's the deal, though. You got to think about this. They started out 1-12. He's a first-year coach, and he pulls this thing together without their best player all season, their franchise player, and with midseason trades, and he gets them through the void that is the play-in tournament. I just thought, I mean, this kid I think is legit and going to be around for a long time, and I was just really surprised by him. So, yeah, you're right. Probably not the coach of the year. So I guess I'll put my vote in for Monty. But I think Willie Green's fantastic. I thought he had a great year.
I think you did a great job. I think you have to go over 500 if I'm going to consider
Fair enough.
Coach
Fair
of the
enough.
year. Like,
That's fair. That's fair.
Joey, what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I still like Pop because he's the winningest coach of all time.
Again, you have to go over 500 if you're going to be coach.
They were pretty close. They got to the play-in,
just
didn't
14 games under 500 this season.
They were just slightly below the Pelicans.
they? Yeah. No, I think you know what, he'd want someone else to have it. You know, that's how he is. After I saw it, when they had won the game that gave him the record, the first thing he did was get off the floor as fast as he could, because he doesn't want that spotlight. So I'm going to respect his wishes and give it to another coach. I think Jenkins is. I think that's a fair one. Harper, I'm with you. I'm like there's some deserving guys out there, and I'm not going to feel bad for picking one of them. So. I think, Memphis has had a great year, and I'm down with that.
What about Udoku? Isn't that his name? The Boston
I think that's
Celtics coach?
I think there's certainly that's another name that I had thought about. The Boston had, they had not started strong, and they just came back, storming in the latter half of the season, and
top 5 in offense and defense. Like they're being coached up.
They're already good.
Yeah, but actually they had underachieved the last 2 years, according to their expectations, I think. So.
Yeah, there's going to be a good book written sometime about this Boston Celtics season because this is just.
It's been a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's just a wild turnaround. But I think you're right. He is worth a mention. So it sounds like we're almost split. So we got a Quaker style this out between Jenkins and Williams. I'm
fine with either.
Should we do a
I'll go Jenkins
thing? Yeah, I'd go Williams. I don't know.
You talked me into Willie Green.
We'll split it. That's the Jenkins Monty Williams Award this year.
All right. Yeah, both very deserving. I like it.
I feel good about that. And is that a cat or a baby?
that's a cat.
Okay.
The other COY is the cat of the year, and my cat Yancey wins that one, I think. She's very vocal about it. Next one, the rookie of the year. I think there are some good rookies, but I don't know that this. I don't know. Harper, what do you think about the? Do we go with the NBA or do we forge our own path here?
I would go my own way on this one. Scotty Barnes is a good player, had an excellent year. But my guy was Evan Mobley. He had a just stellar year for Cleveland. They got a really good player on their hands. He ends up 15, 8, and 2.5 a game with almost 2 blocks a game. Shot the ball over 50% from the field. Played both ways. Big part of the improvement and the achievement that they had this year. So they should be very excited for young Evan Mobley.
I had Evan Mobley as well. I'm glad Scotty Barnes got the award from the NBA. Good for Toronto winning some awards. But this is Evan Mobley's. I'm so excited about this kid and excited for Cleveland.
I'm not going to try to talk you guys out of it, but I am going to make a case for Cade Cunningham.
Sure.
The number 1 pick. He, obviously Detroit was absolutely horrible this year, record-wise. But as a rookie, you typically go to a really bad team, and that, it's not your fault that there's nobody else around you. Cunningham averaged 17, 5.5 assists, and 5.5 rebounds this year. And from the eye test, I think we'll end up being the best of these rookies in the long run. He's got multiple year All-Star, if not All NBA, written all over his game. He's the real deal.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with you. Mobley would, not only statistically made contributions, but helped his team do really, really well. And even when he went out towards the end of the season was a major reason why Cleveland started slipping towards the end of the season. So
Yeah, Cade's gonna be special for sure. He's fun to watch. So needs to work a little bit on his 3-point shooting. Wasn't great from the field this year, but there's nobody else on that team. He's the guy that you got to stop. So he's probably going to have to be a volume scorer for them for a while.
No one else on that team.
But he's already doing things from a point guard perspective that are like 3 to 4 years beyond his development.
Yeah.
Like he sees the game amazingly well.
Very, very high IQ kid. And nicknamed Motorcade, which is fun.
Motorcade. That is fun.
Especially for
That's very good.
Detroit.
Yeah. Motor City.
What were you saying there, Colson?
Do you have an opinion on this? Do you have thoughts?
Yeah, we'll go Mobley all day.
Mobley. All right. Mobley.
All right. Fair enough.
Get his address. Send the puppy fan there.
That's right.
All right. 6th man of the year. This is, of course, the another controversial award, but the definition is a little fuzzy, but that's how we like it, right? Extra fuzzy. Colson, who's your 6th man?
Well, we keep giving all these awards to Cleveland players, so why not give this to Kevin Love? He rehabilitated his career. He was on the wrong side of everything for the last couple of years, just pouting and throwing balls at refs and his teammates spitefully, and he settled into sage veteran off the bench and led to a lot of Cleveland success. So I'm gonna shout out some Kevin Love. Anybody else have thoughts?
I'm going to disagree. I mean, Kevin Love had a fine season. It's great. But I'm going to go with Tyler Hero on this one. 20.7 points off the bench, shooting almost 40% from three-point range. I think a major reason that Miami team is as difficult to play as they are. I thought he's just a quintessential 6 man.
I'm with you. I hate everything about this award this year. Giving it to a Heat player. Kevin Love's in the mix. Kevin Love's numbers, interestingly, are basically flat. I'm surprised he got so much attention for this award. The other NBA finalist was Cam Johnson.
From a very successful Suns
for
team.
sure, and very important to what they did. But at 13, 4, and 1.5, I mean, just nowhere near what Tyler Hero was able to do for his club. So, kind of a no-brainer for me on Hero. As much as I hate everything about it,
that's the right answer. It is.
I mean, yeah. When you like use numbers and stuff, you're gonna come up with Tyler Hero. That's not how I do my analysis.
Okay.
And of course, it's Lance Stevenson. What are you guys doing?
Clearly, it is.
I will co-sign on Lance Stevenson. I am absolutely fine with that.
Joe, if we had won at least 36 games, I would give it to Lance. And I think he's won it like every year he's played on the team. So let's go ahead and give it to Tyler Hero.
I mean, we're gonna break up a streak for Tyler Hero.
You make a good point, Lance.
Lance, it is.
Yes. Thank you. Good, you guys came to your senses. I appreciate that much, guys.
That's why it's Quaker style, buddy. Just got to have a good argument.
Mm-hmm. Our last award, DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year. Marcus Smart wins it from the NBA. JT, did they make the right call? He had an amazing season.
I mean, yes and no. So I feel like it should go to somebody from Boston because they were, made this amazing turn and became this ridiculously good defensive team. I would have given it to Robert Williams, though. Like, I feel like he made that team as forceful as they were defensively. His ability to defend the rim and stay switchable and all of the things I thought were good. I mean, Marcus Smart, this is kind of like a what do you call it? Like a career award or whatever. Like, he's obviously been one of the best defenders in the league for his entire career, and so it's like a cumulative lifetime achievement award or whatever. But what do you guys think?
I feel like Gobot did what he always does, and if he's, I don't know. I liked Rudy Gobert for it. I mean, the guy's a very imperfect basketball player, but what he does super well. Get his 15 rebounds and 2 blocks a game, and make sure that nobody gets an uncontested shot in the paint. So, I'm not mad at the NBA for the Marcus Smart pick. I understand it, but I'd have gone Gobert just to be disputatious. I usually always go against Gobert.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I just actually started by crossing him off because I'm just tired of going Gobert.
I feel like there's Gobert fatigue. I feel like that's what happened.
There is, and I actually went to the exact same place that Jason did, which is somebody on the Celtics needs to win this. I'm fine with it being Marcus Smart, but why not Jaylen Brown? Why not?
Interesting.
I mean, I just you can't give it to the whole Boston squad, but I feel like somebody deserves it on that team. So I guess I'm fine with what the NBA did. You're right; it's sort of a career achievement award. Lifetime achievement award for Smart, and he is the head of that defensive spear or whatever, or the point of attack, or however you want to say it. But I'm going to go with Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, Robert Williams he leads led the league in the defensive rating for the entire league. But
and he is the newer equation of that team that has been sort of underachieving or languishing over the last couple of years. He's the different part of the equation this year. So getting those starters minutes.
But I'm going to go with Harper. I'm going to go with Gobert. Even though he from my memory, he started COVID in the U.S.
Lock that league down.
No, I think, yeah. I mean, there's Gobert fatigue because he's the best. I mean, that's why, it's like the Popovich Award. There's a reason. There's a reason for the season, award season, that is. And, yeah, he's the guy. He's getting your blocks. He's getting your rebounds. What else do you want from him? Baskets? Get out of here.
Jason, if you'll stick with me on Williams, we can split this award. Because screw Gobert.
You're coming over to Williams. Okay.
Yeah, I'm coming over to Williams.
Yeah, I'll stick with Williams. Let's split this thing.
I like it.
Harper, let's move over to Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Just anybody but Marcus Smart or Rudy Gobert.
I have no reason to dislike Marcus Smart, though. Before we wrap up here, so congratulations to our winners. Look for some semi-marked, unmarked packages in the mail. Puffy paints, for sure, glitter.
Yeah,
probably
tiaras.
leaking out the side.
Umbrella hats. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on.
Lots of headgear.
Lots of headgear.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, wear these at the club. That's what Colson does. And it's always a fun time. A couple other awards, NBA awards that we don't bother going for, but the
they unveiled a new award this year, is the Social Activist Award, named after Kareem.
Yeah. So the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it is the Social Justice Champion Award.
I'm guessing Royce White did not get it. Do you guys? There's a big article in the Washington Post about Royce White, who apparently is now running for Congress in Minneapolis, challenging Ilhan Omar. He's like a big-time conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
He's basically a QAnon guy. Anyway.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Nah.
You had me at Earth is flat.
So, shout out to Kareem. As we probably should say more. All right, team. I think that should wrap it for us. It's been a journey, and I appreciate everybody hanging out. It's been fun. So yeah, we're still in the playoff protocol, which means one-ish show a week. Shout out Colson has been dropping the you've got a different name for it, I'm sure, but the greatest hits feeds.
Undebeatable classics.
The classics.
Yeah.
Are coming for weeks that we don't have 2 shows. So revisit the past. Also, Colson's been dropping in Slack. If you are a patron, you get access to Slack, and there's a special Slack channel where he's been posting some exclusive audio.
Yeah, actually, this is fun stuff. So I'm currently working on the 251 to 300 clip show. These things usually take me quite a while, and I usually end up with about a 4-hour first clip of it before I edit it down. I have the first hour is up. Look, if you're really ready for this clip shows is as much fun as we have, right? It's all our best stuff. You could go and catch up on years of the past by just listening to clip shows. If you love our show, you could be listening to the clip show that no one else will ever hear. It's the long form version. It's the Snyder cut, right? So go ahead and check that out. Become a Patreon right now.
Well, thanks for the hard sell, Colson. There will be a non 4-hour clip show coming out in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a week, it could be a month. That's why you should become a Patreon so you can hear it now.
Yeah, do it now. All right, team. Thanks to everybody for giving your opinions, right and wrong. Mostly about Lance. I'm still a little. You know what? Thanks for coming around on the Lance Lance Award. We'll be back with you next week. Until then, you can find us on social media. We are on Twitter at Undebeatables. We are on Facebook.com/The Undebeatables. Our website is TheUndebeatables.com. There's a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message. You can send us an email. Shout out at TheUndebeatables.com. At the website /store is some medium t-shirts.
For the architect, Donnie Walsh, and our once and always Hall of Fame coach, Bobby Sicklinard. Turn out the lights. The party's over.
Just to get this out of my brain, too, it was Jane Pauley.
Jane Pauley. That was the name I was thinking of. That's the person I was picturing. Yeah.
Yep. She went to Warren Central, not Broadmoor.
Boo.
Boo on Jane Pauley.
No, at Warren Central. I'm ready to fight. Come on. What's going on?
I think Marilyn Quayle?
Yeah.
Dan Quayle's wife?
Mm-hmm.
Went there.
She was the brains in that relationship.
For sure. That quality Indianapolis education.
Mm-hmm.
You say potato, I don't know how to spell it.
You're telling the jokes the young people.
Yeah.